Well, there's a reason why I do these as a pages in a book or something like that, or you'll see just an image sitting there. I don't show my face. I think it's irrelevant. These are just words spoken. However, I was watching YouTube as I get my information and stuff like that for some of these things, and it talked about genetic sequencing and stuff like that. I think it was cell senescence or whatever it was. It was basically a theory that they had about why certain, and this deals with the whatever thing it is for mutants or whatever it is, and I don't want to give credence or anything about the whole aspect of genetics because they're not, they, like I had mentioned, they won't. This is just an addendum to all the other stuff I've been saying about genetics, about how everything, and they just reiterated stuff. I just didn't say this fancy, but it just really did talk about how everything you do alters it, and healing, and everything changes your genetics. It happens at a certain scale and everything like that, which basically, even though they have all these figures and stuff, and they go on and talk about, oh, how this affects that, and then eventually the telomeres and stuff like that will eventually there's nothing left, and it gets so altered that by it splicing and the mutations happen. Eventually, that mutation gets taken away, so you don't have the whatever it is eventually because the damage alters it. Well, that doesn't answer some stuff. And the whole thing about it is, even though it was interesting in itself with the senescence and the senile stuff, and if you have any type of idea what I'm talking about, it was about a movie made recently. That's not the point. They talk about this stuff like they've sequenced it. And as I said in the other video I made, they haven't sequenced anything. They have an idea, and they're saying, well, doing this stuff alters your code and whatnot. And really, that's what they're saying. Uh, uh, but it changes. It doesn't. I don't think it gets deleted. I don't. You can't really delete your DNA. And what they're saying is that because a mutant was able to losing the healing factor, that's why this one was dying. And your DNA. This is why they don't understand. They can't. Saying the brain is a supercomputer is lies. It's not a computer. Although the advancements they're making with cybernetics and things like that is interesting, the problem is you shouldn't do those things just because people want to live forever. Uh, there's no point. Um, but the thing they're saying is that eventually you're deleting your genetics, and that's the same thing they said about junk DNA. It never was junk. It's there for a reason, like body parts, the appendix, the gallbladder, things like that. They're there for a reason. They don't know why, and they never will. When they get to the understanding, if they can remove, there's a reason why it's there. You don't, and it's the same thing I said about the brain. They said it in this video, another one about you only use 10% of your brain. No, that is not true at all. And yes, I just mock them. Just because they're scientists doesn't mean they know anything. And to say that you only use 10%, that's a lie. All the stuff that they're telling people are lies. They're not wanting to say the truth because if they tell you the truth, like going through chemo is worse than actually, you know, having the disease. It kills 50% or more, especially younger children. So, all that being said, your DNA isn't removed. You don't delete your DNA. That's impossible. Oh, it doesn't do as well because it's splicing, and every time it makes a new one, you're losing part. No, that is not true at all. That's just their idea and what they're trying to put out there for people to take as gospel. It's a lie. Do not believe them. As it said in the thing, it's just a theory. but I'm telling you that it is not real. It's propaganda, to say the least.